On last week's live stream, one of the many questions asked and answered got some of us thinking. We've been going over it in the Slots Enthusiast Growth Network. Say that three times fast, and a couple of the questions got us started on that. But what I wanted to talk about today was what's been going on with bonus rounds lately. Slots enthusiasts love them. In my state by state, and the cats are arguing, and if they turn off the internet, that's bad. So stop. Or I'm getting out the squirt bottle. Okay. Always interesting with the show, the critters. Right. So, as Wes said just a moment ago about bonus rounds, who doesn't want to win bonus rounds? But there's some complications going on there, and get away from the internet. Just love them. Just love rescue cats. They'll calm down in 2 to 3 years. Right. So, okay. In my state by state group and the Professor Slots enthusiast Facebook groups, bonus rounds are so loved by slots enthusiasts that they this is terrible. They're terrible co-hosts. You're going to lose your job as co-hosts. You know that, right? Your pay is docked. But they are so loved by so much by players that they leave me with the impression that they prefer bonus rounds over winning money, and that seemed like uh, you know something we want to be careful not to get too excited about something, and I guess it's just highly appealing. I don't guess. I know it is, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So have you ever made the choice? Because you can do that on some of these machines. Have you made the choice of either getting a bonus round or just straight up winning money due to a particular? Have you made that? Have you ever been given that choice to either win money directly or take a bonus round? That's the options that are available. And I am taking a break. My apologies for rescue cats. Okay, so have you ever been given that choice to either, play the bonus round? The machine gives you the option of choosing these coins or just take the money. And I'd be interested in knowing if you if you do that. Um, uh, have you ever played a video slot machine where you've won a bonus round? And had the choice of taking the real combination instead, what would you choose? Let me know in the comments if you're watching this later or in the live chat if you're with us live, and let me know. I'm curious. But just to make sure we're all on the same page here, you know what I mean by bonus rounds, right? Back when all we had available from slot machine manufacturers were physical, real slot machines, which wasn't too long ago, 10 years. A bonus round would be an additional reel somewhere on the machine, or wheel. At first, it was just a wheel with multipliers placed next to the three physical reels in front of you, where you'd get that extra spin. If the three reels would spin if you made a bet, but the extra one, you might get a spin symbol or something, and the extra reel was like a multiplier, so that would get activated if you got the symbol that would lead to that. So this is before Wheel of Fortune machines. or at least before I saw Wheel of Fortune machines. But later came Wheel of Fortune machines with the big overhead wheel that can be seen from a distance, but can only be spun if certain spin symbols appeared on the physical reels down below. As it happened, I had a great time playing one of those machines just last weekend. Maybe you saw my Kentucky Casino Trip Report video. I'm especially fond of Wheel of Fortune machines, but not because they have better odds in general. It's just that at one casino, I won 52 hand pays in 6 weeks, mostly on that game theme, which I was playing at the time. But the real reason I won was because of Strategy 9, location, 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 where I could see out where people could see me win on that machine. Oh, all kinds of troubles today. So like I said, I have fond memories of them. And nowadays, bonus rounds are everywhere. You've seen this for yourself, right? Yes, many casinos still have a selection of physical reel machines, but and they're back at it again. All right. So, have you seen video machines that don't have a possible bonus round, like minimum bets climbing? It's kind of like new to me. I just hadn't noticed that it's like the minimum bets going up from 1 cent if they have at your casino. Most of them have now, but not every one of them. 1 cent is no longer available, and sometimes the minimum bet is 90 cents. Nearly $1. It's kind of like, kind of went unnoticed by me, but then now I'm starting to look around and go, where, are there any physical real machines at all in your casino? Is there any of the video slot machines that don't have a bonus round, some sort of bonus game that's part of it? Now it seems like every machine has bonus rounds. So I thought we should talk about that during today's live stream. So a couple of a couple of donations have come in. Thank you, Chuck. He has provided a super chat, and he says, let me see if I can share this. Right. So you're telling me there's a chance. I think that was Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber, where it's like, so you're telling me I got a chance. That's awesome. And also thank you to Magpie 11, who says, "Good morning, winners." Appreciate the enthusiasm, and I'm trying to be entertaining today, but I feel my cats are just doing much better than I am. Now I'm sweating. Okay, and just to go through some of what's available in the chat, and thank you so much for the donations. They keep me energized and keep me going here. So I'm looking in the chat and see if we have any questions that need to be answered right away. Welcome, Steve. Welcome, Kevin. Welcome, Wes, Tony, Chuck, of course, Magpie. Paula is our moderator. She is laughing at my cats, but thank you, Paula, for being our moderator again today. And good morning, PJ. And let's see. Okay, so I stood up and I walked over there. Yes, I'm wearing pants. What have you seen on your Zoom meetings lately? Is that like an optional thing these days? Yep, cats have been given a timeout. So Stone and Tile says 1 500 on a buffalo at Northwood and Linden, Washington. I have something to show you in a moment. We have some places to go and things to look at, um, and and you might find something interesting there about Washington. So PJ says, do you think we can win a progressive win on progressive machines with the minimum bet? That really depends on the rules, and also that's not today's topic, and that's one of the things I want to be clear about is when I talk about bonus rounds, I'm not talking about progressive wins. Progressive jackpots and how to win on them is I plan to have it as a topic for next week. I was hoping to do it today, but it's a big topic, and I want to, the more time you put into a presentation, the shorter you can make it, and I want to be able to put it in with an hour. And part one, part two doesn't work. So actually, there is an individual who is kind of a resource for me, Kevin, who's in the live chat. And we've been going back and forth on emails about sorting some of this stuff out without getting too heavily laid into the math, but to get people started on understanding progressive machines. So do you think we can win a progressive machine with minimum bets? It There might be some topic today that one subtopic today that would help with that, certainly, but it's like harder. So if you are going at 3 o'clock in the morning and nobody else is in the casino and you're the only person playing that progressive slot machine network, whether it's one machine or 10 machines or however many, if you're the only one on the machine, then it just takes longer. Now you have to check the game rules and see if it says that you don't have a shot at the progressive unless you make maximum bet. Some of those machines have those rules. So I want to try to answer your question now, but next week is going to be next weekend is going to be progressives, and there's a lot to be said there. So I don't think if you don't know about progressives, what I just said doesn't make sense. So really, to present on progressives, I have to sort of step through it so that you begin to understand. It's like my course where my winning slot strategies are in there, but it's not the first thing we talk about. You have to understand foundational stuff in order to be able to use them properly. So that's the first part of the question. So let's see what else. Daryl is here. Wise Virgin is here. And let's see. Paris, I used your slot strategies, came home $600 richer. Thanks, John. Well, you're welcome, Paris. I'm going to charge you extra for the extra H. I see you apologize. Sorry. In conversations with everybody, Magpie says it seems all the old school real machines are getting replaced with bonus round machines. Yes, and it's just like I said, it sort of escaped my notice, but now it's almost inescapable. It's like penny machines we talked a little bit about this, I think it was last week, penny machines being replaced by multi-denomination machines. It's another sweep through. I remember when they first started putting out video penny machines with one credit bets on them, 10, 14, 15 years ago? And they swept in and replaced 3,000 of the 5,000 slot machines in Prairie Meadows in Altoona, Iowa, and everybody was kind of like upset. But then they were popular, ended up being popular and less of a risk, and so the casinos kept them and people played them. But it was interesting to see such a wild change. So Sandra says, can you explain the location strategy again, please? Right. So since I do take questions here, it's a little off topic. Focus, John. So if you go to a casino and you see a row, this is how it starts. If you go to a casino and you see a row of slot machines, all with the same game theme, Buffalo or something, pick the one on the end of the row. If they're in a situation, how casinos are laid out is very carefully done. He found his way back through the other door. Okay. Location is about how casinos want wins to be seen. And so they will improve the odds within the legal range that they are allowed for machines that can be seen from a distance. Now, on a row, that would be on a row of machines, that would be the ones on the end of the row, typically in a generic situation. But if you got one end of the row that's next to the walkway, not an aisle, not a narrow aisle, but actually a walkway on the edge of the casino where people are heading towards lunch. They walk down the aisle towards lunch, and there's a slot machine that's facing the direction they're coming, so they see it. That's higher odds. There's carousels at the entrance of a slot machine of a casino, where the one that's not quite pointed directly at the door, but angled a little bit, because you know how it is. You sit at a slot machine and you block the view of anybody in front of you, unless you have a Wheel of Fortune machine, which is up high and has that bonus wheel. So you want to play the machines that have a view for people gathered, a bar, an entrance, a walkway, a major aisle. Intersections are awesome, and look for the one, and it might be 3 or 4 in an intersection, and it's just a matter of figuring out which one, just one of those, would be a winner. And that's easier than figuring out which out of 4,000 slot machines is a winner, and figuring out which of 4 is a winner. And I talked in the past about how to go about doing that. Now, there might be 6 intersections or walkways that have machines along them, or collections of slot machines which are visible from a distance, and those are the ones that fall under strategy 9, location. And now maybe we're off to the races with questions now, but let's see if there's more here before we get back on topic. Paula, the moderator, said topic is bonus rounds, but I think it's kind of a short topic, and we have plenty of time. Kissy Cat is here, who is very active on my Facebook groups, and I think I saw the picture for this. They say I won 600 on 007 machine at Golden Gate. Right next to the entrance. The machine was right next to the entrance. Casinos usually buy machines with the same odds in the same denomination. Mark Smith says, there's a couple of holes in that statement. Since slot machines come with like sets of odds that you can select from, it's all there in the patents, and send me an email if you want me to send you the patents. There aren't too many patents out there. If you want to tell everybody what you're doing, write a patent. But there's some that have been made available, particularly from WMS Gaming, and they talk about how to do that. So, okay. I'm not really interested in types of bonuses, and I'll explain why that is. Thank you, Paula. Paula's kind of keeping track on stuff. Yeah. I talk about my 5-spin method, working at 1 in 4 casinos, but out of all the casinos that I've been to, I only found one. This was with Texas Tootsie Jan. We found one casino in Louisiana. I haven't been to all 1,000 casinos in the United States. It'd take me 10 years, and I haven't, if I did 2 a week. So I count on other people. But when I go to casinos, which I do every weekend now, um, hopefully be able to continue that through holidays and whatnot. When I did find one casino that obviously did not use Strategy 9, location, location, location. I was shocked to find one. So I've been to, I don't know, 50 casinos, something like that. It doesn't seem like a high number, but there's only that many within 4-hour drive from where I live. In any case, it's much more common than 1 in 4 casinos, like the 5-spin method. So I think I'm caught up here, and I'm glad to hear about all the wins people are having. So, um, that was awesome. I seem to hear a little bit calmer, behavior coming up, behind me. That's good. So let's get back to bonus rounds and what's going on with them. So, uh, there's a bunch of different things to say. I just want to make sure we all understood what a bonus round was, that and what it wasn't. One of the things is it's not the grand, the major, the minor, the mini. Uh, those could happen during the bonus round, but a lot of things could happen during a bonus round. And what I have seen, and I'm sure you have seen, is depending how many bets you make, you could uh, uh, you know get more advanced bonus rounds. So it's all meant to be endless. So let's actually break this down a little bit. Okay. So I am going to share my screen and make sure I get this up first, and share. Oops. Don't want that. Add to stream. Yes. Okay. Let's go to IGT.com. This is their website, IGT.com. There's some stuff that's going. Oh, Wheel of Fortune, 25th silver anniversary. What I want to point out to you on this IGT.com webpage is over under products and services. I think you'll be able to see some of this. Products and services under gaming. There are games. So let's go there. And that's here, actually. I have it. I already put in a search term, Wheel of Fortune. But for somebody who was in Washington, I wanted to point out that, I mean, this is one of the things they say on their main page is number 1 in gaming machines. IGT, about IGT, number 1 in gaming machines, number 1 in lottery machines, number 1 and a leader, along with Scientific Gaming and a few others, a leader in research and development. So if you come over here, there are slot machines that are run by the state lottery. And these are contracts, and systems are set up. The slot manufacturers don't just make slot machines, they also make these systems, as well as regular lottery systems at convenience stores, not machines, but terminals for the cashier. And so IGT has markets for those. For casinos, having state-based, state-run lottery machines in their casinos. And they have contracts with Louisiana, Illinois, West Virginia, South Dakota, Montana, and Georgia. Video lottery terminals, video gaming terminals. Not sure that they have both because Georgia doesn't have much of that sort of thing. I think they do have a state lottery, but not casinos. They used to have a gaming boat. But what I wanted to point out here was the Washington State Central Determination System. And I'm not going to go there. We had a special live stream on the state of Washington and its unique system of machines in tribal casinos run by the tribal lottery system, which was not a draw lottery, but rather a scratch lottery. And I know it's like in my course that I offer. What do those terms mean? And so this is all part of understanding what special circumstances might be going on in your state. Everybody's, you're special, just like everybody else. It's definitely like that with the states and gaming systems. But if you go under standalone, And those of you who are interested in Class 2 games, there's a Class 2 and Bingo central determination system, but there's also skill-based machines. In any case, I put in Wheel of Fortune, and IGT owns the brand, the trademark Wheel of Fortune, and I just simply searched for that, and we have 275 answers. So there are 275 different versions, and sometimes it's just a denomination change, available currently, new machines from IGT. This does not include the machines that might be in your casino, because those may be machines they've leased, but aren't currently available any longer. It's just the ones the casino has. Now, when I last checked this, and it was before the pandemic, it was over 400. So things have kind of slimmed down at IGT. But again, that's another topic I'll talk about some other time, which goes into how financially are the two major slot machine manufacturers doing lately, and what do they think about their industry, because they are the experts. Casinos don't make slot machines. Slot machine manufacturers make slot machines, and the casinos can only work with what they're given. Okay, so I clicked on this Wheel of Fortune called High Roller Video Slot Machine, 5 reel, 243 way, 400 credit machine. So that is here. And I think I even zoomed in on it. So there's not enough. I'll back up here. You see where it says back to games, overview, specifications, programs, marketing. Specifications, programs, marketing are locked because I'm not a vendor. I am not a casino who would have access, because they purchased these games. They would have access to these 3 tabs. All I have is the overview. And so I did want to zoom in. There's also a documentation library, but again, that's locked. You have to be able to log in. So here is the best view. It's, even to me, it's blurry because I've zoomed in on a small image, but look at all the bonus rounds. I know they're called Hexbreaker and some other things are going around the bottom, across the top. Then there's the whole section on progressives, which we weren't going to talk about until next week. Then there's the wide area progressive up here, $1.285 million. You have another bonus round here, and whatever program is running. So there is a lot that's going on with these machines, and this is what I wanted to talk about with you was there is a lot of attention being placed on bonus rounds by players. The enthusiasm that Wes stated early on in the live chat of who doesn't like to win on a bonus round. I'm not saying it quite as forcefully as he seemed to type it, but these are fantastic, to the point where I'm seeing comments about, I'd rather get a bonus round than win. And there's built into that is an assumption that if you win a bonus round, you'll win more. And we need to talk about that, because I think that's a faulty assumption. So again, not progressives, we'll do that later, but bonus rounds. And you might win a minor or something during the bonus round if that's what the game is, but let's just try to stay focused on bonus rounds. So let's take a step back and think about the casino environment and the casino business. Okay, bonus rounds are wanted by customers. Customers find them very appealing, is the word that's used by business people. So casinos can't make slot machines, but they can request and provide feedback to slot machine manufacturers about their surveys and their responses, that their customer feedback, and just flow that back to all of their slot machine manufacturers. And so they did. Also, sometimes slot machine, like Apple does this almost exclusively, which is they'll try something. The slot machine manufacturer will try something and it works. but then sometimes it doesn't. So, sometimes you don't know what you need as a customer, but they want to offer you something, and now we have bonus rounds, and everything has bonus rounds. You just these casinos are just like that. If we're going to do something, they make a lot of money. That means that they can invest and to make more money. And a lot of businesses don't have that option, but casinos do. If they can get push money towards slot machine manufacturers to do research and development, they'll do it. So the business plan is that customers want them. Casinos are always trying to get feedback from customers, and they take that information and they feed it to slot machine manufacturers who develop more bonus games and provide the structure and extra screens and a wheel and whatever is needed. You have a big video screen and you can do a lot with that, but having a physical reel or a second display, that requires a hardware change. And so they look at all that and they make it better, and they sell them, or lease them actually is a more appropriate term, to casinos, and the casinos make money. That's the overview. But let's consider something else that we know, which is theme-based slot machines. Now, for instance, Wheel of Fortune, but also Tarzan, Walking Dead, anything that's based on a TV show, where they have purchased the licensing and pay the movie studios or whoever owns the licensing, maybe an author, ultimately, where they would pay licensing fees, and that money needs to be paid. That bill needs to be paid. So do you think do you think the casino pays that bill? Do you think that the licensing fees? Do you think that the slot machine manufacturer pays that bill? Maybe some portion of it, but mostly it's you who pays for the licensing fees. You do. Players of those machines do. So the odds have been adjusted to pay that bill. And so you might overcome not winning as much by, well, you just love that show, and casinos are counting on that. So this is fairly well known. Theme-based slot machines have been, there's the first Wonder Woman from the 70s. It's been Wheel of Fortune. Did I see 35-year anniversary? It's one of these. Wheel of Fortune slots, 25 silver anniversary for IGT. So that has been out for half my life, a little more than half my life. And that is one of those theme-based games. So we know that you pay for that. And the more recent Godzilla movie, the more recent Godzilla movie, the more expensive that licensing fee is. So what all this means, this example I'm trying to get to here, is looking at bonus rounds. What happens? Take a step back. You sit down on a machine and you press the bet button and you win a bonus round. And maybe the first thing you do is touch some buttons to find out. I did this last weekend, bunch of coins or whatever, and you pick them until you get 3 of a kind of how many free games did you just get? And then it runs. And maybe during the bonus round, you win a bonus round. And that means you get more free games, where you go through the whole process at the end, but it gets added to whatever rounds you have left. And so you can end up with quite a few bonus rounds. And I did on Saturday at Newport Gaming, Sunday at Newport Gaming down in Kentucky, on which one was it? The Celestial King. saw the video that I made from my car on my trip just as I left. But that cost, think about the money involved. That bonus round, which I played off of free play, so they didn't get any money from me on that. I thank you, Devin, for your donation. Yes, the Lord of the Rings graphics are great, my precious. I'm completely with you there, Devin. Yeah, these bonus rounds are just great to see. But when I was winning on free play, it was 12 minutes, 15 minutes long, and I'm just playing bonus rounds, the free games, right? Made $153 on I don't remember. I wrote it down, and it's in the report. I think I was doing like $1.50. That's right, because I had $10 in free play from signing up on their card, and then I was down to $7 because on my second bet of that $10, I won, and so won a 15-minute game. That's terrible. I mean, I loved it. But think about the casino. I stopped playing for 15 minutes. Nobody could play that machine for 15 minutes. Nobody could put money into that machine and spend it while my bonus round was playing. How do you think the casino feels about that? Taking that revenue, 15 minutes of revenue, it's hundreds of dollars. Even if at $1.50 each, $1.50. $1.50, $1.50. How many? That's 10. 4 bets and $6 in 1 minute. Well, that's probably let's call it $6 in 1 minute, and it was 15 minutes. It's just $90, $100, and that's just terrible for the casino. And it's probably twice or 3 times as much. What if I've been betting $5 per bet? So it's just an incredible loss for the casino. Now, that was my first thought about it. I went to bed, and in the middle of the night, I jumped up and I was like, so they know that just as well as we do. They know that if they have a long bonus round, that several things are happening. One is they don't make money during the bonus round. Second thing is people could just love the graphics, could just love the bonus round. And so they will play and play and play and play afterward to get another bonus round. And maybe they make their money back afterwards like that. But like us, with the tastes, I say collect the tastes which they want you to use, and then what you brought with you, and then go get more money. And I say in response, they give you a taste, don't do what they want, leave. Go to the next machine, collect taste, become a collector of tastes at casinos that offer this strategy to win. So what about bonus rounds? Take the money and run. Go to another machine. But that's not the only way that casinos and the slot machine manufacturers who actually develop these slot machines are thinking. The other thing that they're thinking is, I've lost money the casino's thinking, I've lost money on this machine while the bonus round is being played for 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, maybe even longer. I was at Foxwoods, and I saw somebody had 1,300. I sat there for like an hour and a half, just kind of like watching them sit back and wait for it to go. And, it ended up being like a $15,000 win. It was along the corridor on the way to lunch about 4:30 in the morning. So if those of you who know all my strategies are just like, one, it was the strategy 9, it was a strategy 4, it was a Saturday morning after a busy Friday night. It's 4:00 in the morning. It's all very, special to watch that. But I I decided to go back, go to bed. It was over an hour that I just stood there and watched him. And he was right. He was not hurrying it along. You can kind of hurry things along by accepting the win and going to the next free play and next free play, next, free game. And he was just letting it run. Poor fella. And so basically it's no real difference from the machine being offline. So easy solution for the casino. You don't win as much. The bonus round, when you get the total, it wasn't as much as it could have been because they subtracted out the money they would have gotten if they hadn't given you a bonus round and somebody was playing the machine instead. Second thing is, these are class 3 Vegas style slot machines that we're talking about here, not bingo style class 2 tribal casino versions of all this. You want to watch out for that, because we're looking at not having any skill required. We're talking about bonus rounds on machines, the most common machines. There's nearly half of them, a little more than half of them in Oklahoma, but a lot of other places are very, the most majority of the machines are class 3. And those they don't have skill required. All these caveats. But if you've played video poker, you do want to have skill, and that's a class. Depends on the state how they interpret it. Some interpret it as a class 2 because it's a skill-based game. Indiana does. But just trying to clear a path here for the logic. On a class 3 machine, there is no skill involved. That's the rule. So when you place the bet, the decision is made in how much you'll win. No matter if you get a bonus round or it goes straight to the real combination, or they ask you to pick these coins so you can determine how many free games you got, none of that matters. It's fun. I mean, it matters to your enjoyment, but it doesn't matter to the payout amount because that was determined when you made the bet. 15 minutes of fun and excitement, none of that, any choices that you make, none of that matters. It's not a surprise to the machine that whatever happened. When you make the bet, the machine makes the decision on how much you won for a class 3 Vegas style slot machine. So any decisions afterwards doesn't matter. The second decision after determining how much you're going to win, but before it starts showing you how you're going to get your win, is it makes the decision on whether you're going to get free games, how many you're going free games, how many you're going to get, not the final amount, but rather, is it going to be straight up lands on these real symbols, or is it going to be a long game? And so, I know a lot of people love the part of the bonus game, and I don't mean to, I never mean to say to take any enjoyment from anybody on playing slot machines, but the decision was made at the time of the bet. So, choose a way. Maybe that'll take some stress off of you. So, when we talk about bonus rounds, make sure we take a moment and think about what casinos think about the bonus round. Are they happy that the machine isn't accepting bets while a bonus round runs maybe 10 or 15 minutes? Or do player decisions during bonus rounds matter? In other words, is it a skill-based game? No, not unless it's a class 2 competition style gaming machine at a tribal casino. So I'm going to check in with the live chat and see how we're doing there. Okay. Wow, I actually know what that term means. We're talking about the weather and how cloudy it's been, and not having any sun seems to be just a touch depressing for people. And Linda says, "Hi, Professor John. Watching a few slot players on YouTube, noticing modest bonus wins and bigger line hits. Also, players playing a long time to get bonus. that's all part of this conversation. There are people who prefer bonuses, and I'm like, think about it. It's a rush. I've I've been going every weekend, and I haven't done much of the low limit stuff, but I'm really focused on it this year. Did a little bit last year, and outside of the pandemic, I should probably just skip last year and talk about the year before. But I've been playing with lower denominations. When I got all this started, I was doing high limits, and then not the super high limits, the $5 denomination, $15 bet high limits, which is high limits. And I would take in $2,000, $3,000 on my bankroll per time, and that's what I would use. And just overtime pay that I was getting went back before I was laid off, and that was pretty enjoyable. And I learned a lot. And I got won the car, and all that because of all the interactions and other things. And I got the trips and the 7-star status back when it meant a little bit more than it does now. And so all that was wonderful, but I want to connect with you guys, and I want to understand what's the minimum bankroll you can take to a casino and have a chance. And with all these minimum bets becoming not 1 cent, but close to 90 cents. Someone was telling me their casino had 20 cents, and somebody else was saying one of their casinos in one corner of one state had 1 cent bets, and I know New Zealand does. They're rising, so to the point where few have 20-cent bets. And that's their minimum. And so when we look at this, what does all this mean? If you have a bonus win and a bonus round, decide, is it much? I mean, just Jan, we did this. We were at was it not Kashada? It was at Golden Nugget, and we found one machine because we looked through the machines that were in a row or prominently displayed, and we were playing one, and remember we were taking our player's card out, and we'd get like a bonus round, and we'd take player's card out and put it in. That's another thing you might want to try out with a bonus round. If you first sit down and you get a bonus round, that's could be your taste, but they're not giving you as much money, is the theory we're talking about here. But you still, if you want the bonus round, you might try that. Everybody who first sits down wins a bonus round. And but when we did that, when we saw that obviously happening at Golden Nugget in Louisiana, Jan and I just sitting there, and it was such small wins. It was, some of the wins were not even as much as the bet. $4.70 bet, and it came back as you won $2 or $3, and that's when I started noticing this and started thinking about it. So if you win a bonus round, see if it seems like you're winning much, and report back in the comments. And what do you think? See, these are the observations that I encourage people to start looking about, because given who has control over slot machines in a casino, and it does depend on whether it's tribal or not, or whether it's a lottery system in place or not, and that's all things I discuss in the course. There really is better choices that you can make, and we'll talk a little bit about this, almost entirely about this next live stream when we talk about progressive slots, and that's just a fascinating topic. So thanks to all of those, thanks to those of you already signed up to my 30 days to play slots smarter and win online course. Let me share that with you. So if you go to courses.professorslots.com, you'll see all my courses, and right now it's just the one, $97, 124 lessons. You click on that and you'll come to the page where it has what you'll learn, course curriculum in detail. Each one of these expands 30 days, quizzes, resources, bonuses, and slots strategies are section number 6, where the first 4 sections are foundational work, and then the bonuses at the end here are about Nevada, casino safety, locals, making a living, video poker. I've got several other things I want to add here as I build those reports, and longer discussions on sort of not direct you might have an interest in your state sort of situation. And then payment options, you can debit a credit card or through PayPal. And these are the bonuses that you come with the course. So that is at courses.professorslots.com. But I also have and the link is in the video description. Also, I have a slot machine, Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, which comes 1 month free for the 30-day course, so that while you're in the course, you have support. I don't want to leave you alone on the self-directed course. There are videos there of me, but less of mouse. Why are you not working? There are videos of me there, and I'm explaining as it's a self-led course. Take it as quickly or as slowly as you want, but with it comes 1 month free of the support that you would get from my Slots Enthusiast Growth Network. And again, that is community.professorslots.com. If you take the course, you get 1 month free if you want to just join anyway without taking the course. And one reason you might not take the course is if you've been with me for 3 years and you've already read everything that I've ever provided. I have built the course to let the new people who just meet me not have to spend 300 hours looking through all my stuff on YouTube and books and podcasts and all that, because they hadn't seen any of it before. The course is to help guide people through the content and just make it step by step, less work. And so that's basically what I wanted to say about that. First comes the foundational work, then the slot strategy, so you understand how to use them. For instance, let's say you win big because of what you've learned in the course. That's great. But do you know how to get out of the casino with your winnings? Most first-time winners have no idea how to preserve their gains. That is so important, because no matter how much you win, you can easily end up spending it all and regretting that later. I don't like that regret feeling. I doubt you do either. So along with the course, you get lifetime access and free copy of my book, Learning to Win, as well as my gambling record-keeping spreadsheet templates, because first you learn to win, and you do. Then you're like, okay, how do I get out of the casino? Do I buy one of those lockable wallets over there? Not that I sell those, but what if they only hold so much? Do you know how much they hold? What works best for you, how to get out of the casino. I have a zero cost alternative that I talk about in the course. Then let's say you do, or you don't get out of the casino with money. You do come out of the casino with a W2G. However, you get that hand pay, particularly if you don't bet minimum bets. Now we're talking taxes, and the easy solution is keep a record. And so that's why I offer free templates for people who join the course. And all of this can be discussed and is discussed with weekly Q&As, social hours, lots of stuff going on in the Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, which you don't have to purchase a course for if you don't want to, but you do get a free month if you do purchase a course. So let's check back in with... how are we doing? Wow. Let's check back in with the group. My voice is kind of giving out. Patricia, I think I left off at Patricia. No, Gulf GCS. Does hitting the button during a bonus round in a hurry through spins change the outcome? No, it never does. Never does. You just shortcut the graphics. I like to do that because when I was doing high limit slots and I won $1,000 15 times in a row, I didn't want people to notice that. We had somebody who was sharing that they won a hand pay in one of the Facebook groups that I have. And that was great. We all congratulated her. I think a couple hundred people did. And then a week later, she came back and said, there was something I didn't mention. I was so scared, of having that much money, that many hundreds in my pocket. People saw that. Some stranger came up to me and asked to borrow money, and we could use the phone app on PayPal, and she's just like, nervous, not when you're in that circumstance, sometimes you forget there's a service button right there. You have security come over and remove the individual, and it was all very much a new experience. And that's something that happens if you take my course. You start winning, and everything that comes with that, like being safe, getting to the car, all things. And she was fine, but there's consequences to winning, which might not have had to deal with so far. There was a question: does hitting the button during a bonus round change the outcome? No. Patricia says, I won $300 on a bonus with my last $20. I lost $100. My budget was $200, so I left even. That's great. The last two casinos that I've been to, this last weekend and the weekend before, my last bet, or at least I had $7 left in free play. I did play the $7 in free play, but it was free play. So I still call that like my last bet. In any case, both my last bets, which were like $1.50 for this last one, and the one before that was $2.70. Both times I won about $150. So 152 and 153 on the second time, and on my last bet. And so I started with a $300 bankroll, and I left with half of it because of my last bet. But it doesn't really matter when during the, I left because it was time. I set a 2-hour limit. Other questions? Looks like we got about 4 minutes left. And Slow Lane, good to see you. We've been chatting a lot. Gary Gates, are Seminole casinos in Florida regulated like in Vegas? Every state has different rules. So tribal casinos are like commercial casinos. They use the same slot machine manufacturers, the same, machines come from them, but the gaming rules can be different. So one of the major things that's far more important is how isolated is the casino? Does it have a nearby competitor? Because this is just business. You can go to your downtown area, or if you live in Iowa or something, you can see that the coffee shop on one side of the street is competing with the coffee shop on the other side of the street, and it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, this is like casinos, but what if there's only one coffee shop and not two? What does that mean? That means, raise your prices to what the market can bear. So I'd be more concerned about how isolated the Seminole Brighton is very isolated, 3 hours south of Orlando, and you drive and drive and drive. And that's my father's favorite casino, and it's a Seminole Brighton. But he mostly plays bingo. In any case, I've been there, and the isolation is far more of concern. Now, Las Vegas has the best regs, I would say, pretty close to it. And the reporting, is there are only 6 states in the United States that report return statistics by slot machine denomination, Nevada being one of them, Florida not. But Florida, the Miami-Dade commercial casinos, Miami-Dade and Broward County casinos, tell you what, I'm just going to say professorslots.com/FL. professorslots.com/FL. I write a report on every state, do it once a year, one per week. It takes me about 13 months. Go read it. And then you'll know what I know about Florida. Okay. Whew. More questions are coming in than I take too long to answer. I've got 2 minutes left. Let's see. Okay. That's where I was left off. Do you know what the contribution rate is for $1 Wheel of Fortune for the one, some fraction of a penny? Bet $10 in the middle of the night when nobody else might be on the machine and see if it goes up a penny. And then it'll be 1/10 of a penny. Minor. Those are like megabucks. They used to report those on those. You can still go back a year or two in the Nevada statistics. They had a separate line item for megabucks, and it was just above the state legal limit. Devin says, MGM My Life memberships has been very generous, but during my first year, I wonder if the offers will stop after this rookie membership. Memberships are kind of crazy. with the pandemic. Now they're not even a full year. A lot of them are going to 6 months, and you zero it out unless you achieve another 6 months. And so that's a possibility, but I would talk to other members. The secret to understanding memberships is talk to other members. The casino employees aren't members, and they generally can't gamble at their own casino. So talk to other members in your tier level, and ask them. That's your resource. We talked a little bit about that last time. Yeah. All good points here about not being able to transfer bonus points on your card and all of that. Which it's been a while since I've done player clubs. I should do that sometime. JC watching from the Philippines. Hello. And last few seconds here. I'm sorry, I'm not getting to every question. I need to quickly check to see if any of the members of my YouTube group and Magpie has a great question, which is something that I should look into. And there it is. Is there a goodness rate on bonus machines? And that's what I'm going to casinos every weekend, and I'm starting to look into that because as a physicist, we were taught to look to see what was the dominant effect. All right. What the dominant effect, which in this case for me, was making money. For me, it's learning, but I'm trying to answer questions for you, and you want to know how to make money. So, I've been working on that. Now I find everybody likes to win bonus rounds. So I'm like, okay, I need to work on that too. But right now, I'm really kind of focused on minimum bets, and my bankroll climbed a lot from $200 in the machine to $300 in the machine, making minimum bets, which were 60 cents, and it jumped 100, in 20 minutes. I'm like, why did I ever stop? Well, because I wanted to learn and see what happened if I were to bet, mid-range $2.70 or max bet $4.70, or if changing the bet amount caused a win. And then I'm getting all this time, I'm getting bonus rounds. But as I pointed out on my last 2 videos ago, the one for Lawrenceburg, where the minimum bets got $114 $114 jackpots wins, and then the $4.50 bets got it. I 5 times the bet, not even double the payout. It was $150 for the biggest one, or was it $180 in the biggest one? And that was on the maximum bet, which was 5 times more than I had spent with minimum bets, and it was only not even double. Wasn't even $200 of a win. So I'm looking at that side of things. But you're right. I'm starting to realize that, how do I win a bonus round? And then how do I win a valuable bonus round? And what is a goodness rate for bonus rounds? So I'm in the beginning of, I'm on a journey where, now that we have so many machines with bonus rounds, I need to look at this now that those are available for everybody. But I also have another thing, which is just basically, it's like my being an aerospace engineer until I was laid off last year. You make lists, you work them through, you figure it out, get it on a schedule, crank it through, no time to relax, go on to the next one. So I'm also looking at fixing my kind of old progressive slot machine ways to win, which at the time there weren't all these grands and majors and minors and minis and all the stuff that you would find on these machines, on these standalone machines. I was thinking more like megabucks and other strategies there. So that's what I'm working on. But yeah, now in the back of my mind is to work through all of this, have all this sorted out for you guys, and put it in the course, of course. And so, with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win online course available at courses.professorslots.com, you'll get lifetime access plus 1 month free access to my support community, the Slots Enthusiasts Growth Network. Links to both of these are in my course and my community are available in this video's description. And that's where you will find all the step-by-step what all this means as we kind of jump around on topics with people in the live chat who've been to the live chat many times and are trying to get answers to their questions, because it is a Q&A session as well. Thank you, Magpie 11. That is on my list as of like this morning, yesterday, in the last week. So now, I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. Now, maybe you want to know what's my winning slot strategies in this playlist right here, which will show up later. In that playlist right here, I'll explain each of them from my 5-spoon method through taking advantage of casino promotions and holiday celebrations. It's not what you think, and more. So click this playlist right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for a great show. Have fun. Be safe. Make good choices.